Your trail name?
My name's Rabbit.
Rabbit? Tell us about where you're from.
I'm from Maine originally.
Okay, so you're hiking home.
Hiking home.
I'm not going to stop you now. I'm going to give you a cold drink and we'll tag this in a few minutes.
Awesome.
All right, we got Rabbit back. We just took a break and let her get something to drink before we talked to her. So you've told me you're from Maine, so you're kind of hiking home.
Hiking home.
How long have you been thinking about doing this?
Probably over 25 years.
Wow.
So I was hiking the Whites a little bit in my early 20s and came across a gentleman. I thought I was doing great, you know, just doing 10 miles through the huts, and came across an older gentleman, and I asked him how far he went that day, and he went all the way. I'm like, what do you mean all the way? He goes, from Georgia. And it's the first time I heard about the Appalachian Trail. Talked to him for hours, and I actually carry a picture of him, and I have no idea who he is. That's me and him in my early 20s, and that's him.
Look at
Probably in 1980. So if anybody knows that gentleman, he inspired me to hike the trail that day, and it never left my mind. So,
Rabbit, this is absolutely amazing you're telling me this, and I'm going to tell you why. This is going to fit exactly why I'm out here. I like to get stories from people that are inspired by the people. And one of the things I say to people, and I'm going to watch your eyes when I tell you what I'm going to say. The first person you ever met that hiked the Appalachian Trail was that guy. And you were very impressed with him.
Yep.
Big time.
Big time. Yep.
Do you realize, and have you thought about, that you're going to be the first person that many people meet after you've done the Appalachian Trail?
Yeah. I've heard you say that before.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, I mean, right? He never knew. He probably had no idea he inspired a young girl to hike the trail one day, and he did. And you just don't know. And it took me this long to finally make it happen and do it. And I'm in heaven every day out here.
I am so glad I caught you. That is worth my interview if we say nothing else, because that is a beautiful story. And I want to talk more off camera a little bit about that. But tell me a little bit about your planning to come out here. How long, since you've been thinking about doing it for so long?
Yeah.
How did you go about planning?
Yeah, so I always kind of kept up on the gear throughout the years, and just, you know, read books all through the years, and I really didn't decide to actually do it and leave my job until last October. And so left March 9th, started hiking March 11th, and I think the hardest part is being vegan out here. So the planning with the food has been the hardest. So I had to prepare a lot of boxes and have a lot of boxes shipped, carrying a lot more food than I want to at times.
So did you have to quit the job, or will you go back to a job?
So I was actually living in Colorado, so I left the job and left the house, and I'm going to probably end up moving back to Maine near family when I'm done this. So yeah,
did you sell a house, or just you was renting?
Sold all gone.
You sold everything?
Yeah, my dogs are back there in my car, and my brother will drive my dogs in my car to Maine when I'm done, and I'll
now, will you go back to work, or you're?
Yeah, I'll have to go back to work after that. Yeah.
And what field will you stay in the same field that you were in?
Probably. I'm a teacher, so early childhood teacher.
A teacher can get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I've heard of a few people that fall in the exact same category that you're telling me about. But that's a big investment on something to come out and do this.
Absolutely, and it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be worth it. And it's got to be in your heart, right? And
well, yesterday I was talking to the guys behind you, because I ask a lot of questions off camera, and I asked them this morning. This is crazy how the trail works to me, because things always happen for a purpose. And I mentioned to them this morning, I want to start talking to people about the sacrifice versus the reward. You've made a tremendous sacrifice. How has the reward been already?
Oh, I mean, there's hard days when you're out here and the weather's bad and all that, but really, honestly, every morning I wake up and I feel so grateful and lucky. I've been waiting this for so long, and there'll be times on the trail I'm walking, I'm like, I'm on the Appalachian Trail. Like, this is a dream.
You're kicking butt. What kind of mileage are you doing, Rabbit?
I slowed down a little bit the last week, just a little fatigued, but I try to get anywhere between like 18 and 24 a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who named you?
A gentleman named Doc, an old Army retired Navy medic.
On the trail?
On the trail.
I think we met him.
He did it. I think he's section hiking this year. He did it a few years ago, and I would come down into camp at the end of the day, and he goes, "You remind me of Ricochet Rabbit, the old
This
cartoon
year? He named
character."
you this
He
year?
named me this year.
And whereabout was that?
It just kind of stuck. It was in Tennessee someplace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it stuck.
It stuck, yep.
All your gear working well?
Yeah, it's great. Everything's been really great. Probably change out my water filter. I got the mini, so it takes about 2 hours to.
Yeah, most people like the regular instead of the mini because of that. Now, you said your mail drops. How many mail drops do you have? A lot of them? I mean, where's your next resupply?
My next resupply is actually Glasgow, right up here.
Okay, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
And then Waynesboro after that, probably?
Yeah, Waynesboro after that. So I let my family know probably a week before if I need
they ship
one,
it?
and they ship it out.
Okay, that brings me to my next comment, and that is how important is a support system back at home.
100%.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Just the emotional part too. It gets your wife knows it gets lonely out here at times, and you wonder why you're doing it, but just the encouragement, and my family's known how long I wanted to do this, so they're as happy for me as I'm happy for myself. So and my parents, my mom is always reading books about the Appalachian trails. She's kind of living vicariously through me, and
Very interesting. My wife and I will be married 40 years this year. When we met, she mentioned the Appalachian Trail to me. I didn't know what it was and really never heard about it or talked about it for years. Finally, she was getting close to retirement. I said, we need to knock that trail out that you talked about. And she had worked as a college kid, and they would go up in cowboy camp on their day off, all the college kids that was doing the chaperone for a for a YMCA camp. And she got the idea then to do the Appalachian Trail. And when I got online, I'll never forget it, and read that it was over 2,000 miles, I said, she must not know how long that is. And I was shocked, and I'm very proud of her, having done it and accomplished it, especially at 62 years old.
That is amazing. She did that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we come out every year and meet y'all and help others because we enjoy meeting y'all and seeing what y'all going through. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I've got a lot of questions. I'll catch you up the trail maybe. Who you want to say hello to before we cut it off?
Oh gosh, just my family, my mom and dad, all my brothers and sisters, my dogs. I have 2 dogs, Andre and Johnny. Yeah, so just family, friends that are supporting me out here.
God bless
them all.
God bless every step between here and Katahdin, and I hope we catch you up the trail again.
Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
I just want to zoom in and put that picture, and again put it up with you, by you. That just touches my heart. This story, and again, just reemphasize one more time because I want to make sure I had it on the first part of the film. It was probably 1995 when this picture was taken, and you think you were about 20?
I think I was about 23 or 24 when it was taken, and I was hiking the huts up in the Whites and met this gentleman and asked him how far he went that day, and he said all the way, and I didn't know what that meant. I said, whoa, all the way? He's like, from Georgia, and that was it. I fell in love with the Appalachian Trail that day, and he inspired me, and I don't remember his name, but had a conversation with him about the trail, and
now, I'm curious of a couple of things, and I hate to even stop you because I know you're a fast hiker, but you planned to take that all the way to Katahdin, didn't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been planning to take this picture with me for years. I've held on to this picture, and I knew it was going right in my pack with me. And if I ever got a chance to meet that gentleman and
we're
thank him.
We're going to try to figure that out. People that are watching the YouTube here, if you can help us maybe and know somebody that hiked back in those years, we could get a picture of the picture we've got, maybe start trying to check around, because that would be a wonderful story. If he's still around and hiking, especially hiking, that he inspired that young girl, and now she's here doing it again. Thank you again for taking just a minute again.
Absolutely.
Share that with me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, we're at Stanimals in Glasgow, and this is the first time I've been here to the hostel, and we've got Rabbit back on camera, and we're going to try to put all these together. I'm not very good at splicing things, but we'll figure it out. How's this hostel? I mean, did you get a room or what?
I got a room. It's very clean. Laundry included. Food here. Yeah. Very nice, very welcoming.
We saw you yesterday. We didn't film. Day before, I guess. I can't remember. But when we saw you yesterday, you were going to hike another 6 or 7 miles, maybe.
Yep.
And so you did. Do you know how many miles you did yesterday?
Oh gosh, I think I ended up doing 17.
17.
Yeah.
And today you did about 11. You said
About 11 coming into here. Yeah.
James River. We just so happened to be there about 20 minutes. You walked down, and we were able to give you a ride here.
Lucky me.
Lucky you, lucky us. Since the last time I interviewed you, I found out that you did something else in your life, an adventure. I did not ask you the question, have you ever done an adventure bigger than this? But you told me off camera that no. But I want you to tell me, or tell our viewers, what you have accomplished other than something like this, in any way you want to say it. Just tell me about your experience of, what do y'all call it?
CrossFit Games.
CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I guess at that time I would have thought that was the biggest accomplishment that I've ever done, or the biggest adventure I've ever taken on. In 2016 I made it to the CrossFit Games, for anybody that knows what that is.
Explain it to those like me that don't know.
Okay, so it's basically a lot of people do it. There's a big competition that take the top in the world, and I made it as a masters athlete 2016 in the 45-49 age group, and it's a combination of Olympic weightlifting, gymnastics, a little bit of everything. Big fitness competition.
How long does the event last? Is it a one-day event? I never asked it.
It's a 3 or 4 day event. It's usually over a weekend, and to qualify for that, you have to place first, top 200 in the world, and then from that 200 in the world, you do another competition and have to place top 20 to move on to go to the CrossFit Games. Yeah, so I worked. Yeah, that was a big goal of mine for years, and that I worked towards. And
how many years did you work toward that?
Oh, I think I started CrossFitting in 2010, and then yeah, just every year that was kind of a goal. In 2016, was able to finally make it happen with a lot of hard work and hours of training every day, and years of training, and it was pretty surreal when I got there, and it was a pretty big accomplishment for me, and it was a big goal in my life that I wanted to achieve, so it was amazing.
Okay, before I get away from it, you told us a story about what you did to qualify the day that the lady called you or your trainer called you.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell my viewers about that.
Oh, yeah, so you submit your videos and your scores, and it was about a half hour before our scores were due, and looking at it, my coach looked at it and saw that one of the events was a max deadlift, so you just had to lift as much weight as you can from the ground to your hip, and I wasn't going to make it because my deadlift wasn't good enough. So my coach said, get to the gym, and you need to make over 300 pounds if you want to get to the games. And we had about 20 minutes to do it, warm up, throw the weight on, and I was able to lift 302 pounds, and that secured my spot, 18th in the world to get there. So it was, yeah.
I'm amazed that you've answered my question off camera, that this is a bigger event than that.
Oh, yeah.
You've been out here how long?
Over 50 days now, 54, 55 days, I think.
Well, somehow or another, convince me and tell me how that can be possible.
That this is bigger?
Yes.
Boy, that's a hard one to explain.
Well, I think, of course, we've already shown them the picture of how you were inspired, so we won't repeat that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you can try to explain or just give them thought or something.
Yeah, there's just, I don't know, there's just more involved in this. It's more personal. You're out there alone most of the time, and you have support and people out there, but it's a long time out here, and it's a mental struggle every day, and there's ups and downs, and then yeah, it's hard to explain. This was more like a calling for me.
Really?
And the trail was more like a calling, so I feel like I'm home, and this is an adventure of a lifetime. It's more, hits my soul more, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I wonder if I could see inside your face, or see inside your heart, or your soul, or your thoughts. When you crossed the finish, you showed us a little film of when you crossed the finish line. I didn't know. I'm gonna try to do that when I get home and look you up. We're gonna tell them your name if you'll let us, and they can look you up. But the thought and the feeling of that, I'm gonna be interested to talk to you after you reach Katahdin, because I want to know the feeling compared to that event. What do you think right now? Do you think it's going to be an emotional event?
Oh yeah, on the trail already, I think about that moment getting to Katahdin, and I get really teary-eyed. I think the moment I crossed the finish line at the games was more of accomplishment and relief that it was over. I think, yeah, I get teary-eyed, think about it. I don't think I want this to be over.
Wow, wow.
And that's the difference, I think, yeah.
Wow, Rabbit, I'm so glad we got to meet you and learn a little bit about your life and your life story. And hopefully we'll get to catch you up the trail again. Anybody else you want to say hello to, or is there anybody else or anything else you'd like to share with us? Maybe a challenge to somebody, a woman out there that's thinking about coming to do the Appalachian Trail? Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a sister that this would be her dream, and she's young. She's in her 20s right now, Morgan, and I would love for her to do something like this someday. She loves hiking and loves being outside, and hopefully I can be an inspiration for her to make it happen for herself someday.
I wonder if you'd re-hike it.
Oh yeah.
we got
She
another
does it,
challenge.
I'm doing it with
We
her.
got another challenge on camera. Okay. Anything else or somebody else you want to say hello to?
No, just appreciate all the trail magic out here, and you, Jimmy, and all the kind people that I've come across. And if the trail really does restore your faith in humanity, and I just feel so blessed every day out here.
Okay, and we'll end it like we always. God bless every step between here and Katahdin, and have a great day.